Ladies and gentlemen, when the most important company in the world, Nvidia, reports their earnings, that's a time to tune in and start paying attention. We've just had a very insightful earnings call from Jensen where he's gone over quite a lot. He put some dampeners on the AI bubble fear, and he's also covered an awful lot of different topics. In this video, I'm going to give you the 10 most important key takeaways from the earnings call so you can save yourself some time and not have to go through the whole thing. Although I do recommend that you sit down and listen to the whole call. And I'm going to go through my 10 key takeaways. But first, here's Jensen tackling the elephant in the room, the AI bubble.
There's been a lot of talk about an AI bubble. From our vantage point, we see something very different. As a reminder, Nvidia is unlike any other accelerator. We excel at every phase of AI, from pre-training and post-training to inference. And with our 2-decade investment in CUDA-X acceleration libraries, we are also exceptional at science and engineering simulations, computer graphics, structured data processing, to classical machine learning. The world is undergoing 3 massive platform shifts at once. The first time since the dawn of Moore's Law. Nvidia is uniquely addressing each of the 3 transformations.
Firstly, Nvidia is claiming they still lead across all AI phases, pre-training, post-training, and inference, and they are enabling superior performance across all AI workloads. This is huge. If you're an investor like AMD, like myself, you're kind of banking that AMD is going to be a significant competitor to Nvidia on AI inference. Nvidia's still claiming they are the number 1 player. Number 2, 3 major platform shifts are driving growth for Nvidia. Number 1, the transition from CPU general purpose computing to GP accelerated computing as Moore's Law slows. This is huge. There's $1 trillion worth of infrastructure of CPU general purpose computing that needs to be replaced to GPU, and that is just CapEx, which Jensen's GPUs are swallowing up. That is an additional workflows, additional things which can be done and processed via GPUs. This is just replacing the old infrastructure to make the old way of doing things to catch up to where we are now in a way which means you get better yields on your core business model. But we'll come to that in a moment. Generative AI is replacing classic machine learning, and agentic AI introduces reasoning, planning, and tool usage, creating new applications and markets, which means more demand for GPUs because there'll be more usage of the GPUs, which means you need more GPUs to service your customers. Number 3, accelerated computing is at a tipping point. Hundreds of billions of dollars of cloud infrastructure spend is moving from CPUs to GPUs. Number 4, generative AI boosts hyperscaler revenue. Models like Meta's Gem are increasing ad conversions by 3 to 5% by replacing traditional machine learning in recommender systems. This is kind of the point. Core services of these businesses, such as Meta and their recommendation algorithm, are switching from general purpose compute to accelerating compute, leading to a improved yield on their recommendation algorithm. How does that work? Well, if Meta is better at recommending content to you, you're more likely to stay on the platform longer, which means that they have more opportunity to advertise to you and get a conversion to then lead to some revenue from you being on the platform. Number 5, agentic AI is the next frontier. Companies like Tesla, OpenAI, and Google are pioneering AI systems capable of reasoning, planning, and tool usage. This is huge. Agentic AI is a huge next frontier. I've spent some time today vibe coding. It is absolutely magical to watch along the left-hand side of my screen on Replit the AI going through step by step what it's working on. This is coming from someone who's not a coder, and I am now able to watch an agent go through multiple steps in one go to yield an outcome. And that is agents, that involves a large amount of reasoning, which involves a huge amount of compute, which again is driving more and more usage of NVIDIA's products. NVIDIA's singular architecture supports all workloads. This is huge. One platform enables cloud, enterprise, and robotic applications. Now, this does mean that there's going to be room in the market for companies to come in, AMD, for example, who are going to say, we're going to specialize. We're going to specialize on inference of large language models, for example. But what Nvidia is doing, and what they have done incredibly well, is they've got the best one shoe fits all, which means if you've got a huge organization, you can install Nvidia's infrastructure, and that's going to be enough for you to do pretty much whatever you want to a very, very high level. Yeah, you could install some infrastructure here and there for some specific use cases, or you could just do everything Nvidia, and you're going to get the major 80-20 of everything, okay? So very important. 7, supply chain resilience underpins growth. Something Jensen made a big point of is they have been doing long-term planning of their supply chain and have been working very closely with their suppliers all throughout this huge growth cycle. So the suppliers have actually seen this tsunami of demand arriving. Nvidia's planning ensures customers have access to the necessary compute at scale. This is basically them saying, hey, look, growing is hard. In fact, growing is incredibly difficult. It's painful. It's so hard to scale. Supply chains as well are incredibly complicated, but we got our ducks in a row. We can handle this. Number 8, strategic partnerships expand ecosystem. Investments in OpenAI, Anthropic, and other AI companies drive adoption and ecosystem growth. They are supporting this ecosystem, and they're saying that they are going to still be keeping their eye out for strategic investments. Nvidia receives equity in these once-in-a-generation companies, aligning interests with their success. Number 9, energy efficiency and TCO optimization, total cost of ownership. Nvidia's architecture is designed for maximum performance per watt, which is critical in large data centers with limited power. It's becoming more and more that the limiting factor is going to be power. That's why people like Elon, people like Jensen, and other startups are starting to talk, and Amazon as well with Jeff Bezos, are starting to talk about putting data centers in space. Why would you do that? It's so difficult to, it's going to cost a huge amount of money to transport it all there. This stuff literally weighs tons and tons and tons. Cooling in space is different. On Earth, you can flow liquid or blow air. And in space, you have to cool in a different way through thermal radiation, which is just a bit different. And it's going to take a few breakthroughs to really figure out how to do that at scale. Number 10, and this is the big one, it's comprehensive presence across clouds and industries. Nvidia's GPUs are everywhere, from hyperscaler clouds to edge devices and robotics. Nvidia is becoming and has become the backbone to this AI revolution, and it looks like it's continuing. Nvidia offers unparalleled versatility, diversity, and developer adoption, supporting broad enterprise and industrial growth. In my opinion, Nvidia have just knocked it out of the park once again. I hope you enjoyed this summary. If you did, why not consider hitting subscribe? Cheers.